Terror Night Theater.
Terror Night Theater.
Terror Night Theater.
In the dark of night, caressed by the moon's eerie light, as the wildwood stirs, shadow winds take flight. As the creatures call, and the werewolf cries, be brave, my friends, thy escape is nigh. So it begins. Tell us a tale of deadly fright, a tale of fable, oh, of a haunted sight. Entranced, I beckon by candlelight. From grave's embrace, arise, my dear! Propitious Sebastian, story time is here! I was howling for you, darling.
I am Sebastian Sinister. This lovely creature is Drucilla Darkly. We welcome you to tonight's show. May your dreams turn into nightmares.
We don't want to buy no lino, no nothing.
Mr. Zagore, please.
Oh, him.
No sound, please. After 2 years I find you. I want the eternal light. You found me too late. It's no longer mine. I can kill with this from the end of the room. No lies, please. You cannot kill in England, Mahmoud. They get their murderers here and hang them. I have not come alone. If I hang, there are others. The eternal light goes back to the tomb from which you stole it. But I tell you, I have not got it. Please, I am not a child. I sold it. To whom did you sell it? To Professor Morland. That robber of the dead. Has he sold it? He did not buy it to sell. What then? Like you, Mahmoud. She believes. Believes? He believes that the eternal light will open for him the gates of paradise? Even so, he gave the best part of his fortune for it. And very soon he will know whether or not he was right. What do you mean? Professor Morland is dying. Then you think it will be buried with him? I'm sure of it. We have only got to wait until he is dead.
Anubis. Opener of the way. What's that?
Well, what is it?
Good evening. I happen to be staying in the neighborhood, and hearing of your master's illness, I took the liberty of calling. How is he tonight?
You'll never see the morning.
He hasn't asked anyone of my cloth.
Nor will he. He's set in his ways, and they're the ways of the heathen.
I know he won't see the rector, but though I'm a comparative stranger, I don't like to leave a man to die like that.
He'll die in his own fashion, as he has lived.
Still, sometimes at the end.
Not with him. He's stubborn and unbending, and will be so at the throne itself.
Well, I suppose I can be of no use then.
No manner of use.
Good night.
You're asking for him. Where could I find Mr. Brown?
Who is it? Come in or go out.
You'll have to go up soon if you want to see him again. Curious house, this.
Curious owner.
Yes, but I suppose a great Egyptologist can't be expected to be like other people.
Well, he'll be like a great many other people soon.
That's not a very sympathetic thing to say.
Well, I'm not a sympathetic man. Want a drink?
That's, across the hall, isn't it?
I dare say.
Thanks.
$75,000, September 22nd, 1931. Daily Journal. The eternal light, mine at last.
What's he there?
I'm here.
Is the door shut?
It is.
No listeners.
None.
The curtains.
They are drawn.
Come nearer. This man, watch. Bracken.
You were always suspicious. Have you ever trusted a living soul?
Only fools. I trust you.
Let us trust in the spirit than in the flesh.
I put my trust in my own gods. And now, when I am dead, my funeral, you will bury me at dusk in the clothes I told you. You will place the figure of Anubis at the west of the inner chamber.
I will.
And on the night of the full moon, at the first hour, I will make my offering of the eternal light to Anubis, opener of the way. If I have done well in his sight, those fingers will close over the jewel, and he will open to me the gates of immortality.
The hand of a heathen image will now come to life.
Ah, the bandage. The bandage.
Darling, are you
Yes.
interested in some rare vintage this evening?
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Excellent. Well, give me a chance to summon Cedric and have him bring us one from the blood cellar.
Excellent. What a great idea.
Cedric!
Yes, sir.
What do you have for us tonight?
I have a wonderful vintage, sir.
1648. A good year. You may open that and bring us our chalices.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Sebastian, I'm so hungry tonight. Even Cedric looks like a midnight snack.
Drucilla, dear, do you want Cedric to live forever? Think about that.
But really would buy it.
Yes, I think so.
What do you call a baby cat? A kitten? What do you call a baby bat? A bitten bee.
The bandage. The bandage. Look. This is the eternal light. It was rest in my hand.
A man will now find peace who robs his heirs.
Bandage my hand. The eternal light must lie with me in the tomb. You're afraid of me?
I'm afraid for you.
If this should leave me, then you'll have reason to fear. For when the full moon strikes the door of my tomb, I will come back. You hear? I will come back to kill. Bandage my hand.
Doctor! Window. Open. Oh. All over. Make out a certificate. Heart failure. What was the idea of bandaging his hand like that?
I cannot say. He had many a queer fancy.
I'll be round in the morning to sign the certificate.
I'll no believe him, Master Sire, till his body is laid to rest.
Where are you going?
To feed the lamp that is to burn inside.
It's all wrong.
It's a disgraceful trouble.
Wait. You're leaving the key inside.
Aye. That was another of his queer fancies.
When your master died, Lang, I believe him to have been possessed of a jewel of great value. Do you know anything about it?
Nothing.
I advise you to be very careful, Lang.
I have a careful nature.
You may be putting yourself perilously near dishonesty.
I've seen men nearer.
You may regret this, Lang. Stay here and watch that man with the club foot.
I'm not a detective, Mr. Burton.
One more word from you, Davis. You're out of work. I have reason to believe that he has stolen a valuable piece of property. He may make an effort to get rid of it. Watch him and telephone me at my office if he leaves the house.
Very good, sir.
Hello. The master wants me to polish the silver. I can't imagine why. He never uses it. I hope you're enjoying tonight's movie. The Ghoul is one of those cases in which imagining something is always better than remembering something. For decades, no print was known to exist. The original nitrates disintegrated on the film, and the first British film to be described as horrific disappeared. The Ghoul, as a consequence, as a lost movie, enjoyed almost mythical status and praise from film students and critics who had never actually seen it. Then in 1983, a print was discovered that was complete and suitable for restoration. Then people actually saw the film. Critics agree that The Ghoul is not the best horror film of the 1930s, and it's through no fault of the cast, which included distinguished actors Cedric and Ralph Richardson. The Ghoul itself revolves around pairs of characters and their interaction. The principal pair is Karloff as Professor Morland and Ernest Thesiger as Lang, his servant. They also shared the screen in Bride of Frankenstein, with Karloff as the monster and Thesiger as the evil Dr. Pretorius. The heirs to the Morland fortune, Betty Harlan, played by Dorothy Hyson, and Ralph Morland, played by Anthony Bushnell, are the closest thing we see to hero and heroine. And because they're cousins, the screenwriters did not need to worry about any romantic interest. Instead, the pair agree to be partners in a business sense, sealed with a handshake. The romantic interest, one-sided as it may be, comes from the pairing of Betty's scatterbrained roommate Caney and Egyptian jewel thief Aga Ben Dragora, who leads Caney on as he schemes to steal the jewel. Caney, played by Kathleen Harrison, provides a humorous emotional release for the audience alongside the mounting tension as Morland rises from his coffin and moves irrevocably toward a murderous rampage to avenge the theft of the jewel. The pairing of humor with horror makes The Ghoul more effective as a result.
Oh, I'm cutting sandwiches for a sheik.
The restored version highlights the cinematographer's aesthetic, embracing the motifs of German Expressionism popular in the early 20th century. Günter Krampf, cinematographer, had previously worked on Nosferatu, The Hands of Orlac, and The Student of Prague. The distorted perspectives and crooked staircases of the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, the stark geometric shadows of Son of Frankenstein, a contrast sharp to the point of harshness, and black silhouettes skulking across the screen present a visual treat to the viewer. The technique makes Karloff's makeup by Heinrich Hetfeldt particularly disturbing. The Ghoul is still fun to watch and worth sticking around to the end.
Cedric, where are you? One could die of thirst waiting for you.
Well, the master calls. I'm going to have to go. Back to the movie.
Harlan. Miss Betty Harlan, 52 Langford Street.
From Wrexham.
10 shillings if you drive me to Oxford Station in time to catch the 5 o'clock train.
I'll oblige you, Governor. I was going straight back as it was.
That's a very old carpet, Mr. Morland. I should be glad if you will not kick it to pieces.
I'm sorry. When I'm angry, I do kick.
You're good enough to explain that.
Yes, I intend to. By your own statement, Miss Holland and I are the sole heirs of Professor Morland. We were informed neither of his death nor of his funeral.
Your uncle died and was buried in a certain way according to his wishes, which... Need I go on? Almost his last words were a threat to return from the dead. In my opinion, he was mad.
Well, that may be so. But Miss Holland and I should have been consulted.
I understood that you and Miss Holland were not on speaking terms.
Oh, what of that? You expect quiet at a funeral, don't you?
Yes, I also expect it in my office.
I'm very sorry, but after all, this means a good deal to both of us. I thought it was worth about 4,000 a year.
Well, he isn't now.
What do you mean by that?
He spent a good deal, you know. It may surprise you to know that some time ago he drew a cheque for £75,000.
What for?
I don't know.
You don't know? You were in charge of all his affairs and you don't know?
That's what I said. And I advise you to look after the tone of your voice.
I'm not at all sure. I have much more important things to look after than the tone of my voice.
I don't follow you.
I'm going to run down to Owlsvale House tomorrow morning.
Yes, why, I don't think you realize the conditions that you will find there.
No, that's why I propose to go.
You won't like it. You'll be most uncomfortable.
You don't advise me to go?
I think you'll be making a very big mistake.
Then I'll go. Oh, by the way, does Miss Harlan know anything about this will business?
No doubt she will have received a letter from me by now.
Do you know Miss Harlan?
No. I propose to give myself the pleasure of calling upon her this evening. Hello. Oh, it's you, Davis. Wait a minute. I have a visitor here, but I think he's just going.
Thank you very much. If you're going to see Miss Harlan tonight, I shall be there myself.
No doubt you will succeed in making a painful interview intolerable. Good afternoon.
Your manner must help your practice a great deal.
Now, Davis.
Can you direct me to Blandford Street, please?
Follow the tram lines, close on a mile, and then turn right at the church.
I'm obliged to you.
Oh, hello, Caney. Oh, it's good to get out of that fog. My dear, a most exciting thing has happened. Oh! Oh, don't let it happen again. No, not that. That's a chestnut. It's this. It looks like a solicitor's letter. Just been delivered by hand. Oh, dear. What haven't we paid? I wonder if I'm going to get a shock or not. Oh! Oh, Caney, that is a silly game. After all we've said about Uncle Henry, what do you think he's done? Something nice at last? He's dead. My dear, I'm sorry. And his solicitor wants to see me. My dear, I'm glad. He was awfully rich, wasn't he? He may have left you a fortune. If he has, I'll buy you a private cinema. I say, when did this letter come? A few minutes ago. Why? He asked me to telephone him if I could see him here at 6. You don't want to miss the chance of a fortune for the sake of tuppence. You better run out and do it now. You're right.
Miss Harlan?
Yes?
hoping you would tell me a bedtime story.
And what would you like to hear this evening?
I was hoping that you would tell me the one about the green man from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I like this story.
Will you tell me?
Well, of course. I see you've already pulled the page up with the green man.
I did.
Excellent. And it's quite an interesting tale about the green man. You see, it is said that the green man was working possibly with the power company. And it is said that he got electrocuted. And from that point of him being electrocuted, his skin turned a green color. Sad story. Now the alternate to that was that he was up working on a power line and was struck by lightning.
You like lightning.
I do like lightning. That's why I'm so fascinated by this tale. Because the lightning struck him, changed his skin color to green, almost to a glowing green.
Oh, that's nice.
And I think he would fit in very well here at the castle.
Absolutely. We love everyone.
Exactly. And of course you can understand why I've gravitated to this story. If you want to find the green man, it is said that you have to drive to his location. Now the other part of that story, the variation of that, is that he resided in the Green Man Tunnel, somewhere near South Park. And if you go there late at night, and you drive your car there and park by the opening of the tunnel, of course this is a train tunnel that has been abandoned, but you go to the tunnel and you call for him.
Oh, darling, that sounds like the perfect date night.
Yes, does it not? And if you call for him, he will come. But there is a tunnel near South Park, it is said, that you drive your car there and you leave the car running and you call for the green man to come. And if you're lucky, he will come out of the tunnel, lay his hands on the car. And because of so much electricity built up in him, all the electrical equipment in your car dies. And once again, he goes back into the Green Man Tunnel and disappears.
Who needs electronics anyway, darling?
I still prefer horse-driven buggies.
Of course.
All you have to do is feed them.
So enjoyable.
But that is the tale.
Thank you, darling. That's wonderful.
It's my pleasure. This is a wonderful book. Matt Lake is the author of Weird PA. And there's quite a number of books out there about weird things happening in other states. But he wrote a wonderful book about supernatural things that happen throughout the state of Pennsylvania. So once again, we will talk about another story at another time as Drucilla requests more tales from the Weird PA by Matt Lake.
Until next time.
Yes, indeed.
What's the matter? What's happened?
Somebody attacked me and snatched my bag.
Why, good Lord, it's Betty Harlan.
Grace Morland.
You would go and get yourself into some kind of mix-up.
You will arrive when it's all over.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going home.
Wait a minute. I was on my way to see you, strictly on business.
You wouldn't be allowed in for any other reason.
That's good. Bring him gallows. Put in his boat.
dear Mr. Broughton, we're delighted to see you.
No, it isn't Mr. Broughton. It's my cousin, Rafe Morland.
Dear Mr. Morland, we're delighted to see you.
Wrong again. We don't like him very much.
Oh, don't we? I didn't realize.
Well, our two families are not on speaking terms.
Oh, dear.
As far as I can make out, it was started by my late uncle as a Christmas joke.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
But now he's dead. The trouble's all over.
I'm not sure. It hasn't just begun.
Where's Mr. Broughton?
Oh, he won't come because I didn't telephone. I nearly got throttled instead.
Betsy!
There was a man with a limp. He pushed a note into my hand. I just put it in my bag when somebody snatched the whole affair.
What was in it?
There's something of value at Owl's Vale. Others are after it. So come.
And Broughton was doing everything he knew to keep me away from there. There's a fox in the cover somewhere. Goodbye.
Oh, why goodbye?
I'm going down there right away. I'll let you know what happens.
You're wrong. I'll let myself know. If you go, I go too.
You can't do that. Alone in a house with a man you're not even on speaking terms with.
Oh, don't be so absurd. It's not as if I even liked him.
Oh, if another woman was going, perhaps.
I suppose that means you want to come too.
Well, obviously it's my duty.
And suppose I object?
I'm not so broke I can't hire a car.
Oh, all right, you win, but for goodness sake, hurry. Getting this best you can. There you are.
You first. No, you. Hurry up. Oh, this is a beautiful car. No, come on, yes.
It looks as if I'll have to walk.
You might do worse. There's a grand moon. It's full.
I'll see if there's a name on this gate. No, there's nothing to show. This is the place.
But there aren't any other places, and I'm frozen.
Well, it's no use going to the wrong place.
Wait a minute, here's someone on a bike. Hi there, Cocky. Wait a minute. Oh, hello. I'm awfully sorry. I didn't see you were a parson.
Oh, that's all right. Any trouble?
Oh, no. We just want to get to Owl's Vale House.
Well, this is it. As a matter of fact, I'm calling there myself.
Did you know my uncle, Professor Morland?
Oh, slightly. And so I want to introduce myself. My name's Hartley, Nigel Hartley. I'm down at Raveley, the vicar's ill.
How'd you do? I'm Rafe Morland. This is Miss Holland. We're the heirs of the old...
Couldn't we have the rest of the introduction indoors?
Yes, of course. You must be cold. Straight down this drive. You go along, I'll follow.
All right.
be all right here. I'll show you the way.
What a horrible house. I wish I was back home in bed.
I can hear someone coming.
Well, don't stand about. Come inside. We'll go into the library. I may be old-fashioned, but I feel awkward when I am not introduced to people.
I'm sorry, I forgot you didn't know your clients by sight. This is Miss Holland.
How do you do? I was expecting a telephone message from you.
Oh, I was on my way to call you up when the most extraordinary thing happened.
And this is Miss Caney.
How do you do?
You're a surprise, Broughton.
I have a great deal of business to clear up down here.
This house has needed a woman for about 25 years.
Good evening, Monster fans, and welcome to Monster Bash. We are here with Ron Adams. How long have you been doing Monster Bash?
Monster Bash has been going since 1997, so this is year number 25 for us.
How did you get started in it?
Okay, well, I was doing a video business selling VHS horror, and in 1997, the United States Post Office was releasing the classic monster stamps, and I thought that was so cool. And I was driving home one evening from work in Pittsburgh, and I saw on a mall, the Westmoreland Mall, a marquee that said Spring Fashion Show. And I'm like, while I'm not interested in the Spring Fashion Show, I thought, wouldn't it be great if the marquee said Karloff, Lugosi, and Cheney here? And so I was thinking about the stamps, and I was thinking about that image of the marquee, and I thought, you know what, maybe I can do a show to highlight the stamps. The very next day, I was on the phone to the post office in Washington, D.C. I got permission to do the East Coast unveiling, and that became the Monster Bash as I reached out to Forrest J. Ackerman from Famous Monsters magazine. We got Sarah Karloff, Bela Lugosi Jr., and Ron Cheney, and it all came together and became Monster Bash.
I've not been before, and I'm so happy to hear the history. I had no idea.
Absolutely, it is fun with monsters.
Well, I must say that Ron has welcomed us graciously to be a part of Monster Bash to show the world where to come for Monster Mania. We're here today with Drac and Krita. Did I say
Karita?
Karita.
Yes.
And obviously, Drucilla Darkly is here with us as well. So, Drac, tell me a little bit about your show.
You know what I was thinking is I would let Karita handle that question while I get to know Drucilla better.
Show is on themonsterchannel.com. We usually do a show a month. We show everything from silent horror, silent comedies. We've shown some Sherlock Holmes, all kinds of things. And
since you've had your fill, can you now talk to us?
Oh, sure. Anything for you, Mr. Sinister. What you want to know?
Tell me more about your show.
Well, what we do is, I have the best support system that I could ever have. And my partner here, my wife, Countess Karita, right? And basically all I have to do is sit around and think of stupid things. I write them, and then we get in front of the camera, and we do stupid stuff. Yeah. Did you miss me?
It sounds like a very good evening like we've had as well.
Yeah. And basically if the stupid stuff makes me laugh, I say, yeah, okay, we could do that.
Something like we do at the castle all the time.
And we're happy to say that other people seem to like all that stupid stuff because our numbers keep growing and growing and growing.
Yes.
We're seen now in over 3,000, 3,500 cities, 112 countries around the world. We're international superstars right now. Yeah, we have dozens and dozens of people watching us.
So there is hope for Terror Night Theater, huh? Excellent, excellent.
So here we are, we're back at our booth, and just so you know, you see Karita here talking with Elvin Altman. You will find them on archive.org. So I say, and you will obey.
And Drac is back at it again.
This house has needed a woman for about 25 years. Now I've blinded myself.
You haven't wasted much time in getting here, Mr. Morland.
No, just a little too much, perhaps.
Whatever do you mean? Really, you're the rudest man alive. Oh, pretty pussy. How horrible. It's stuffed.
I dare say you know your own business best, but why you should want to bring a parson?
A pure accident. We met at the gate.
So naturally you brought him in.
Barton, I can stand a certain amount, but no more.
Oh, come, don't let's make a battle of it.
You stay here in the car.
No. I shall be among the trees, watching.
You may say I have no right to express this opinion, but to my mind it's a scandalous and disgraceful burial which may have disastrous consequences.
It would be very disastrous if he came back, wouldn't it? I quite see Mr. Hartley's point.
Yes, you make friends quickly, don't you?
And enemies quicker.
Need we have these childish squabbles? We all know the dead men don't come back.
I wish I was back home in bed.
Hadn't somebody better answer that?
Certainly. It's your house.
Very well. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I was an intimate friend of Professor Mullen. Well, you'd better come in. We seem to be giving a party. Oh, thank you. My name is Aga Ben Dragore.
An Egyptian?
An Arab. I don't remember having heard your name. I did not flatter myself that you would. But I knew Professor Morland some years ago, in Egypt. I heard of his death, and of his burial in my own faith, and I hoped, as I'm leaving England tomorrow, that I might be allowed to visit his tomb.
I must protest against anything of the sort.
Shouldn't the poor man look at his friend's tomb? I don't mind him going.
I can't believe that you'd willingly encourage paganism.
The Egyptians were not pagans, sir. as no doubt you know, Miss...
Cayley, I think you're all being very unkind to Mr. Dragore.
I don't think you people realize quite how far Moreland's queer ideas took him. He even believed that after his death at a certain hour, the image of Anubis would come to life in his tomb and receive his soul. It's horrible.
Well, I can't see that it matters. After all, if that sort of mumbo-jumbo gave him any comfort,
It matters a great deal.
If my suggestion is likely to hurt anyone's feelings, please forget it.
Oh, I think that's very sweet of you, Mr. Dragore.
Oh, your sympathy is more than charming.
Well, what about a cup of coffee after your cold dries? I dare say we should find some in the kitchen.
May I offer my services as pantryman?
Quite sweet of you. Come, Mr. Dragore. For sheer speed. Shall not let him out of our sight for a moment now.
Perhaps that's just as well.
Come along, Betty. How about making a fire in the library?
Yes.
I'm sorry there should be this sort of atmosphere. After all, we're only ships that pass in the night.
You want a drink or will you pass now?
Oh, well, thank you very much.
There you are.
Well, if you build it that way, there won't be any draught.
Well, it'll be the only place in this house where there isn't one, then.
Oh, don't you think you carry those snappy retorts a trifle too far? Since we met, I can't remember you saying a kind word to anyone.
Perhaps you're right. I'm sorry. Six cups. That's just 4 too many. Eh?
Tell me about Egypt. Have you ever seen a sheik?
I am one.
Oh, thank you. Then how should I address you? Oh, I'm cutting sandwiches for a sheik. I don't feel quite well.
Oh, don't be alarmed. We're not quite as uncivilized as people think.
Oh, don't say that. Do you ride a white stallion?
Sometimes.
Oh, down the path of the moon, the noble animal plunging and frothing up the nostrils till it founders at your feet, faithful unto death.
No, not very often. You see, it's rather too expensive.
I know it's not your fault. We were taught to hate one another, but...
Good Lord, you don't think I hate you, do you?
Well, I can't somehow feel I'm your dearest friend.
You never did have a great deal of sense, did you?
Oh, that's nice. Rafe, I've a woman's intuition that you and I are up against things.
I'm pretty sure we are.
Well, then, let's cut the quarreling.
Shoulder to shoulder, eh? All right. Partners.
Partners.
Ah.
Oh, what a wonderful night. It's a full moon.
Scared of a dead man in his tomb? Shame on yourself. Are you a child that your knees should rattle at the talk of a madman? Look your enemy in the face. It's the fear of the big door has got you, and will hold you fast till you stare it down. Do dead men walk?
I'm no thinking a dead man will cross my path tonight.
I met the cutest girl I've ever seen. She couldn't have been more than 17. She had the softest eyes and the cutest bangs, and when she smiled, she had fangs. True love, your heart accepts what your eyes won't allow. When love makes you a twosome, no matter how gruesome, you'll find a way to make it work somehow. Then I looked her right into her face, and hair was growing all over the place. She said, "You will forgive me, dear, I hope. My mom's a werewolf, I'm a lycanthrope." True love, your heart accepts what your eyes won't allow. When love makes you a twosome, no matter how gruesome, you'll find a way to make it work somehow. Then she took me gently by the hand. She said, "My dear, I hope you'll understand." And when I looked, her hands had turned to paws, and her fingernails, they were claws. True love, your heart accepts what your eyes won't allow. When love makes you a twosome, no matter how gruesome, you'll find a way to make it work somehow. So I went out and bought myself a pair of nail clippers and a great big jar of Nair, and a file to turn that smile into one that I adore. Now I'm not afraid to date her anymore. True love, your heart accepts what your eyes won't allow. When love makes you a twosome, no matter how gruesome, you'll find a way to make it work somehow.
Now I will show you how we make coffee in the desert, underneath the stars.
You don't make it yourself, do you?
No, of course not. A Circassian slave, lovely as sin, cooks it for us, kneeling. And if it is not to our liking...
I know. She's stripped to the waist and lashed for miles across the Sahara.
Where she is finally eaten by locusts, and rightly. Now, take this canister and do exactly as I tell you.
And if I fail?
The Yorkshire Moors are just behind us. Now, 6 spoonfuls. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5.
Out the way from... What's the matter with you? Are you mad, eh?
What was the matter with him? Was it drink?
No. Terror. Stark terror.
Oh, then I caught it.
You stay here. I'll look after him.
If you must look after somebody, why look further?
Come on, then.
Rafe! That lint-pipe's where to it anywhere. That's the man.
Look here, did you give a note to the gather up your things and get out of here? The master, I've seen him. You...
Who screamed?
I did. That's the last time I'll ever try to make coffee in a strange house.
That man with the limp. Who was he?
Lang, your uncle's servant.
Well, he seemed mad to me.
Yes. And probably dangerous. You others had better go into the library. I'll have a word with him.
Yes, come along. Mr. Broughton understands the man.
It would do no harm to warn my man to stand by.
Your man? Is he a sheik too?
No, he's his chauffeur. He's outside now with my car.
You're not leaving us, are you?
My dear lady.
Not a very courageous person, our foreign friend.
You think he's run away? Absurd. I'd like to see you riding your bicycle with a Circassian slave, lovely as sin, across the handlebars.
What on earth are you talking about?
Now listen, good people.
Good people?
Don't you think perhaps we're allowing this thing to get on our nerves? Don't you think perhaps if we took a grip on our self-control...
Now listen, good parson. This is our show, and our nerves are probably just as good as the next man's. So keep that sort of talk for your pulpit.
Ray!
Oh, well, of course, I have no wish to interfere where I'm not wanted.
Then don't. This is not a Sunday school.
After that, I think I can say good night.
As you please. Well, I'm sorry I was offensive. Good night.
Oh, well, the tongue is an unruly member, is it not?
Yes.
Yes.
I was tempted. I was tempted, but I did not fall. I did not fall. The thing's safe. I swear it. When you told me you'd come back from the grave, how could I believe you? I never knew such things could be. The girl, she has it. I swear it.
Terra Night Theater. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Monster Bash. We're here with Cortland Hall.
Well, I have the Witch's Dungeon Classic Movie Museum in Connecticut, actually Plainville, Connecticut. And what we have is a combination wax museum of over 20 life-size figures, each in a scene based on the movie. And besides that, we have displays of original movie props and makeups, many done by John Chambers, who was an Oscar winner, and so was Dick Smith. They were both Oscar-winning makeup artists.
Excellent. And how long have you been doing this?
Since I was 13 years old. Nice number. Yes.
Very nice, very nice. We enjoy this. So tell me, what is your favorite pieces?
Well, I'm a little partial to one of them, The Werewolf of London, because that was my great uncle, actor Henry Hull. And so he was the very first movie werewolf in 1935, 6 years before Lon Chaney was the Wolfman.
And a great movie. I have enjoyed that movie quite often.
Thank you. And it's open now all year round, which is what I always wanted it to be. And it's much larger than it ever was before.
That is such an interesting thing. If you do have a chance to be going to Connecticut, you must stop and see this museum.
Witch's Dungeon Classic Movie Museum. And if you go to our website, preservehollywood.org, you'll get all the info on it.
So tell me one more thing about your show on there. Have you had guests signing autographs?
Oh yes, in the past we've had all the families of the actors, Sarah Karloff, Ron Chaney, Bela Lugosi Jr., and also, of course, Victoria Price. And this fall, we plan to have Dan Roebuck, who's now Grandpa Munster in the New Munsters.
Very enchanted to meet you.
I'm very enchanted to meet you, too.
And we are looking forward to taking a road trip to visit the museum.
Oh, I do hope so. And as I say, ooh, there you go.
We have a very special guest, son of the Ghoul.
Oh, that's me. Hey, how you doing?
Tell me a little bit about your show.
Okay, I've been on the air, broadcast television for 36 continuous years, and currently on WIVM, Channel 39 out of Canton, Ohio.
Tell me something about what made you get into the horror host business.
Well, in 1963 in Cleveland, we had a horror host named Goulardi, and it was an influence to me. And then Cleveland had a lot of hosts. We had the Ghoul, and the Ghoul had a lookalike contest in about 1982, and I won the grand prize of the lookalike contest and got a segment on his show, never dreaming that I would ever end up being on the air. And then in 1986, I got a job at a television station. They had a host who left, and I thought, I can do this. And it's 36 years later now. Hey, I gotta run back to my table. I'm here at Monster Bash having a good time, and good luck with your endeavor. And, my dear, okay.
Excellent, thank you.
Stay safe.
Well, thanks. We want to say it was a great honor to have Son of the Ghoul on Terror Night Theater. He gave us quite a show, as he always does.
What on earth's the matter with you? Look as if you'd seen a ghost.
I have. I saw Morlant as plainly as I see you. I'm going to mix myself a drink.
Betty, just a minute.
Well?
I have an idea they're trying to scare us out of this house. There's no use blinding ourselves to the facts. There must be something pretty big at stake.
Something that depends on getting rid of us.
That's how it looks to me.
What are we going to do?
Betty, I'm going down to that tomb and find out whether it's the only way we've got of finding out what's going on around here.
I don't want to be left here alone. Can I come too?
There's nothing wrong with your nerve. Come on.
I'll put on a pullover and some thicker shoes.
All right. Is this yours?
Yes.
I'll keep an eye on Broughton.
I think you've every chance of seeing things if you lower Scotch at that pace.
come down.
I hope you enjoyed our opening act, Betty Boop. The queen of cartoons definitely knows how to draw in an audience. And as we found out, she also knows how to throw a monster Halloween party too. Now, when we first met Betty in 1930, she was quite a character. She was just so animated, you know? She evolved over time into the amazing woman and cultural icon that we know and love today. Betty was inspired by Clara Bow, Baby Esther Lee Jones, and Helen Kane. Plus, she was a role model for many strong women, like Marilyn Monroe, and of course, me. Now, I feel that Betty transcends the ink on the page. She is smart, stylish, and beautiful. She's a hard-working lady who can do it all. She can drive a race car and fly a plane. Betty can also sing, dance, and act. She played not one, but two fairy tale princesses, Cinderella and Snow White. Betty actually starred in the first Snow White short in 1933, and that was 4 years before Walt Disney's film appeared. Now, Betty was originally created by Max Fleischer, May Questel, and Grim Narvik. But as you and I both know, creations often take on full lives, all our own. Definitely. Betty worked for many famous folks, like Cab Calloway and Louis Armstrong. And as played by Bonnie Poe, Betty even starred with Bela Lugosi, yes, in a short promotional film for Paramount Pictures. They were frightfully funny together. What a scream!
Hear that music on the air. Listen to your favorite pair. Sing a song or dance for you in this televised review. Each a movie king or queen enthroned upon the silver screen. Now watch that escapade in Hollywood on parade, for Hollywood is on parade.
Moving like my silent love. How I long to tell all the things I have planned. Still it's wrong to tell, I do not understand. You go along never dreaming I care, loving somebody somewhere, leaving me my silent love. Betty.
Betty. You have booped your last boop.
Betty became the world's first female cartoon star, and to some, an unabashed sex symbol. Perhaps that's why she became a target when the oppressive Hays Code took effect in 1934. Will Hays and his cronies censored countless films, and, I don't know, seemed to delight in hurting the careers of many talented performers. But considering we are still talking about her almost a century later, proves that Betty had the last laugh and the last boop on Mr. Hays. Now, let's watch as Betty commands the screen in the surprisingly creepy cartoon from 1932. Here is Betty Boop starring in Minnie the Moocher.
I'm not afraid. Are you, Bimbo? No.
Folks, now here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail. Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Ho-dee-ho, dee-ho. Ho-dee-ho, dee-ho. Hi-dee-hi, dee-hi-dee. Hi-dee-hi, dee-hi-dee. He-dee-he-dee-he. He-dee-he-dee. Ho-dee-ho, dee-ho. Ho-dee-ho, dee-ho. She messed around with a bloke named Smokey. She loved him though he was cokey. He took her down to Chinatown. He showed her how to kick the gong around. Showed her how to kick the gong around. She had a dream about the king of Sweden. He gave her things that she was needing. He gave her a whole wheels of gold and steel, a diamond car with the platinum wheels. Oh, skip-bop-doop-bop-let-it-oo. Oh, skip-bop-doop-bop-let-it-oo. Skip-bop-de-goo-gee-lig, skip-bop-de-goo. Skip-bop-de-goo-gee-lig, skip-bop-de-goo. Skip-bop-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Hi-dee-hi-dee-ho. Hi-dee-hi-dee-ho. He gave her his townhouse and his racing horses. Each meal she ate was a dozen courses. She had $1 million worth of nickels and dimes. She sat around and counted them all 1,000,000 times. Dee-ho, dee-ho, oh, dee-ho, dee-ho, ha-ha, dee-ha, dee-ha, ha, dee-ha, dee-ha.
You want?
There was somebody in the library.
Who?
I don't know. The door. It's shut. It's shut.
Don't scream.
Oh, that's what I need. The command in your wonderful voice.
Come with me.
I think you've gone far enough with your insinuations.
Yes, and I may go a great deal farther. What is it? What's the matter?
I've seen him.
Now perhaps you'll believe what I told you.
Get me a glass of water quickly, will you?
Thanks. I wasn't hurt. Only frightened.
Barton, see if you can find Miss Caney, will you?
It's wonderful to be with a man who isn't afraid.
I am afraid.
You, who have ridden bareback over the desert.
If you don't stop chattering, I'm afraid I shall have a knife in my back.
When I'm with you, I have to talk. It comes like poetry.
Are you prepared to obey me?
In anything.
Then close your eyes and don't speak for 10 seconds.
We all panic sometimes.
I got his hands on me.
That's why I know it was no ghost. It was no ghost. Look at the clock. It's nearing the hour. I know where you'll find him now. He's gone back to the tomb, to his heathen gods. And you and I will follow in there. Wait a minute. What's his doctor's telephone number? Yaxford 72.
The door's open and there's a light.
I'll go no nearer. I'll go no nearer.
I can see a shadow moving.
I'll go no nearer. Well, then, go back. What about it, Betty? Do we go on?
Yes, of course.
Thought you'd say that. nothing, just a dirty cook.
You'd better get out of my way.
Your hand, eh? So that's how it was done.
I wouldn't come any nearer.
I don't have to. Look, if you please. Thank you. Come on now. Nothing.
Come and sit down.
Where's the key?
He threw it away.
When I phoned the doctor, I told him to bring the police. They ought to find us somehow.
Even if they do come, how can they break down that door?
They'll find a way.
I'll make a bandage.
The doctor in charge didn't understand the case. I'm afraid of catalepsy. Meaning? Morland was buried alive.
Oh, Mr. Dracula, what were those shots?
Out of my way.
Where are the others?
Leave me alone!
I rather thought you might be leaving in a hurry with something in your pocket that doesn't belong to you. Hand it over.
You win. That woman! There she is!
Come now.
Oh, you put up all gun, you fool! I tell you, she's got it! Come on, then!
Now, Miss Penny, if you please.
I don't think so.
You fool!
If either of you two horrible men so much as move, in it goes.
You don't know the value of that jewel.
I don't care for the value, it'll go. And if you shoot, I'll go with it. I mean it. Down 30 feet. And about 60 feet of water. And then Australia.
I can't see the target. That light seems much lower.
Partake! Quick, come on, get out of here.
The door! The door! shut! The flames! They mustn't reach the door! No good, you can't breathe in there. Can't breathe. Here. Only. I've had enough of this, Danish. Supposing I'm ready to shoot and take the risk.
You'll be taking a bigger risk than you think.
I'll take that gun, thank you.
Now look here.
That'll do. Now, what's the trouble?
This. They're after it. All of them. It belongs.
I'll carry her to the house.
Get back! Stand in that corner!
Terra Night Theater. As we have come to a frightening close, you are filled with horrors, dread, and woes. When next we meet in our Vamperium home, I suggest you don't come alone.